I'm calling the meeting to order, officially at 6:04. Once you get to know me, you find out generally like to start on 3, so I'm a minute late. So we're going to officially go ahead and, my name is Robin Boyd, and I will be serving as your president of the NAACP Branch 3013. And I'd like to open up in prayer. I see Brother Bailey, so we could, Brother Reginald, could start us off in prayer, please.
Sure. Can you all stand? God, before we ask for anything, we thank you for everything that you've done. You woke us up this morning. You started us on our way. You gave us breath in our bodies, food to eat, clothes to wear, a place to live. You encamped angels over our houses, and you kept the enemy away from us, God, and we say thank you. We thank you for everything that is good. God, we thank you for the leadership of this NAACP branch. We thank you for our president and those that are surrounding her with their support as we move forward with the business of reaching the community and making a positive difference in the lives of the citizenry of East St. Louis. We just thank you for just being so good. God, we thank you for being good. You didn't have to do it, but you did, but we say thank you. And God, we ask that you bless us during this meeting. We ask that you guide the direction of our president and let there be a smooth transition as we go through this agenda. We ask all of these blessings in your sweet son Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Reggie. It's Reggie, where young you are. Appreciate that. Start a good meeting off in prayer. We have the secretary, Green Howard, the roll call officer.
Robin Boyd, Claudia Nash, Laura Jones, Deborah Dorsey, Marina Howard of officers. Johnny Campbell is absent. Johnny Campbell?
Okay. All right, thank you. And you all would take a look at the agenda. We're going to agenda for April 26th tonight. And I will entertain a motion to adopt this agenda.
Madam President, this is Prince Harris. I move that your agenda be adopted with one correction, because it has Monday, April 26th. Tuesday, with the correction, April 26th.
Thank you. Okay. You said the Harris made a motion. Who said the second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Ms. Laura Jones, second, with the correction of the day of the week. And I see that we have to do business, unfinished business as well. We'll add unfinished business. How many can we make an add? All right. Anything else? Hearing nothing, all in favor, show by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Move on with this agenda. This is correction. And we do have minutes from March 22nd. Mrs. Secretary, Mr. Serena will read the minutes.
I'll stand. The meeting was called to order by President Robin Boyd at 6:03 p.m. Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, 6 p.m. The roll call on the Zoom, we had 16 executive committee members, a special guest, Illinois State NAACP President Teresa Haley, and 10 general members on the Zoom's participants list. Approval of the agenda. It was moved by Lola Key that that the agenda be adopted with the addition of the courtesy report and second by Andrew Bailey. The motion passes. Approval of the minutes. It was moved by Marina Howard that the general membership minutes of February 22nd, 2022 be approved and second by Andrew Bailey. Correspondence. A thank you was read from Mrs. Katrina Thomas for the courtesies received from NAACP upon the death of her husband, Archie Thomas. President's report. President Mrs. Robin Carey Boyd gave a review of approved recommendations made by the executive committee. They were: the executive committee unanimously voted to accept Robin Carey Boyd as its president, and it also voted to approve paying Stanley Franklin $750 for 2.5 months of rent at 4700 State Street. Number 2, the president stated her vision was branch growth, transparency, and cohesiveness, with the executive committee becoming more knowledgeable of the inner workings of NAACP and spreading the intended work throughout the community. She included with, quote, I see us organizing the branch in a manner where all of us are making an impact and are available when there have been occurrences of unfair treatment, inequities as it relates to education, employment, housing, and economy. I see us being more accountable for what we say and what we do. I see us partnering with other organizations and making our city's politics a nonpartisan platform for all parties. Those are just some of the things on my mind. I'd like to see us move forward and in that spirit, unquote. Number 4, the president stated that appointments will not be made to any vacancies until they are presented to the executive committee. Number 5, State President Teresa Haley was acknowledged and welcomed to the meeting. Number 6, the general membership will be asked for input for a chairman of the banquet. Their ideas and voice will be shared with the executive committee and then brought back to the general body. Number 7, Tiffany Lee will be assisting the president with transitioning by opening up a new email address and Facebook page. Number 8, a visit was made by the president with Claudia Nash to the new office space for meetings at the 1468 location. Treasurer's report. The treasurer reported balances on the scholarship operating fund that included AXO and the banquet. Committee reports. AXO Committee, LaToya Owens. The chairman, LaToya Owens, announced that AXO is holding its 6th annual 3rd virtual competition on April 9 at 10 a.m. There will be 12 participants competing in 11 competitions. Political action. A copy of the report was emailed to members that summarized meetings on voter registration, voter education, the membership drive events listing the dates of participation that was held with this coalition of group representatives in different churches and locations. A request for a deputy registrars of at least 5 from various organizations in East St. Louis was made. Membership Committee, Deborah Dorsey. Members were encouraged to do an email membership form or the official form and make sure it is completely filled out. Mail to Post Office Box 671 as indicated on the form with check or money order, and individuals are asked to please do not join membership online with the NAACP, the national office. Health Committee. Dr. Don M. Forte. The Health Committee is planning a 5K walk run in June. It will not be housing the COVID clinic since they will be closed. The next meeting at this time was scheduled for March the 28th. Environmental and Climate Justice Committee, Marina Howard. As environmental report of a regional Zoom meeting with various guest speakers on justice force was conducted. They were also emailed to the members, and future meeting dates of the regional ECJ was given. The members are being encouraged by NAACP ECJ to observe the website to read about the billions allocated for communities through Justice 40. New members were solicited for the ECJ committee. Courtesy report. The guidelines for courtesies were sent back to the committee for discussion. New business. Freedom Fund Banquet Committee. The Freedom Fund Banquet Committee will be meeting earlier this year since there is a new team. Details of activities on the hotel contract and deposits will be handled by the president. Executive Committee and General Membership meeting dates and times. Dates of scheduled meetings were emailed to all members. The 2022 events calendar. The President asked for tentative dates for all committees for coordination within the branch and with those organizations outside in the community to eliminate conflicts. Announcements. President Gary Roy encouraged the executive committee members to check on their membership dates in order to be sure that they are up to date. The adjournment. It was moved by Dr. Don Porter and seconded by Aaron Kern to adjourn the meeting. The meeting was adjourned at 7:03 p.m.
Madam President, I move that the minutes be accepted as printed.
Second. Moved by Rachel Ruth Young. I heard a couple of second by Martin Brown. Are there any questions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, show by the sign of aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move on. Thank you. Lorena. Correspondence.
Again, Madam President, our correspondence consists of printed material that has been placed on the table in the back. I started running out of ink, and some of them are not very pretty. But it includes, we want to let you know that we are involved, and we want you to be involved also. Town Hall, the Future of Energy, April 27th, 5 to 7 p.m. right here, New Life Community Church. Next announcement and correspondence. CASA of Southwestern Illinois is having its annual dinner April 30th, 6 p.m. at the St. Clair County Country Club, Belleville, Illinois. This is what it looks like. And then finally on Monday, May 2nd, 2022, 6:30 p.m. at the Power of Change, Cahokia Heights, Illinois. This is what the correspondence looks like, and it tells you what time and the participants that are involved.
Okay, there's no action to be taken on the correspondence. The only action I can ask you all to take is to show up. One is tomorrow, you want to know what's going on, and they will be sharing information. And on May 2nd, again, town hall is open to the public. You want to know what's going on as it relates to the topics that they're discussing, asking questions about how redistricting impacts you. And what was the other topic on there? No, on the other topic, Brother George. The topic for the and the other topic.
This is a registration and I was going to ask you fundamentals.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so you want to know what we're talking about? It's on May 2nd, it's a town hall meeting. Tomorrow night, though, I'll meet you guys back here for town hall meeting. Okay.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night is Cameron.
Yeah, it's Cameron.
Town hall meeting right here.
Okay.
I'll repeat that again before this meeting is out, so everybody gets it. All right.
Second.
So there are questions about that. I'm gonna go on President's report. So, we had some action items at the executive committee meeting, and I want to share those with you. April 18th we met, and it was moved by Aaron Kern, seconded by Andrew Bailey, that Marina Howard be reimbursed for their PO box that was paid out at $91 our PO box, so she paid that, and the motion passed. It was moved by Tiffany Lee and seconded by Robert Betts that we, the $700 that we allotted for the winners of AXO be paid out, and the motion passed. And it was moved by Laura Jones, seconded by Dr. Warletta Brookins, that an amount of $500 be donated to the Earth Day event that they had in the city on Saturday, and $950 for the Shred Day. And that's a typo, Shred Day, to be held on Saturday, June 25th. And there has been a grant that has been issued to the NAACP, and so we utilize the funds from that, and that motion passed. And then Lola Key moved that we participate as a partner with the Empire 13 for the Environmental Climate Justice. So we didn't just donate funds to them, we actually participated. We went out and supported it as well, and that motion passed. And it was moved by Robert Betts and seconded by Dr. Don Porter that we pay for the GoDaddy domain to Tiffany Lee, and that we reimburse Debbie Carter for flowers purchased and delivered for the funeral of one of our past vice presidents, Louisa Green. And that motion passed. And I'm looking at Louisa Green. Griffin. I know Louisa Green, you also bear with me. Louisa Griffin. And that motion passed. It was moved by Marina Howard, seconded by Dr. Don Porter, and we purchased 2 tickets to the annual Casa dinner at $100 each on April 30th, and that motion passed. That is the report from the executive committee. I'll entertain a motion to adopt that report. So
Second.
I move that. I'm not, I'm asking, you don't so move.
I move that we accept the executive committee report as presented.
Second.
All right. It was moved by Dr. Warletta Brookins that we accept the executive committee recommendations that present, seconded by Reverend Young. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, show by the sign of aye. Anyone opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you. And I'll continue with the president's report. And I just want to share some things that have been going on. I call it a 30-day update, but actually it's 44 days that I've been in office. And during that time, we've been busy. And I wanted to share that we had to do some transitioning, and we have moved over to the Community Lifeline for our office space. And we are working on securing a phone landline. We've gotten our PO box in order, as you heard, we've paid up now. We are working with a young lady that was in our previous office to do some transitioning for information being made available to us. And let me see. We are also accepting calls as it relates to complaints, and we want to kind of formulate that process. We have not gotten that together yet, but individuals call us and ask us, can we help? And so that is something that I'd like to see us do more of, not just hold events and not just, community service. We always serve. There are people who want to do community service through our contacts. And there are also people that have some problems and issues that they're bringing forward, and they'd like us to at least address them or guide them to a resource. to help them through whatever it is they have going on. So that's something that I'd like to see us work towards. Anybody who wants to volunteer to help with that piece, but putting together, I think we've started a list already on resources that are available in the community for people. So as we get that together, we'll have, just different places to guide people and tell them to go to. They call, I got a call, and they're asking, I've been told I've got to do so many hours, and they want to know where they can do it. Well, I don't know where I talk my head all the time, so I have to look at my resource guide. And I'm hoping that this will grow, and we can again be able to share that out. Let's see what else. And then, well, we'll get more information from our communications chair to let you know how we're doing on our Facebook and website. So I'm not going to take her thunder. I'm going to leave that for her. But we have, we've made some strides, quite a few, and it wasn't always easy. But I thank her for her endurance and just following through on that. So that's kind of up on the update as far as the transition that we have. I have appointed a first vice president because that spot was empty, and Ms. Claudia Nash has agreed to move to first vice president until we get to a point for a new election. And we had first vice president, second vice, third vice. So we're just going to have Claudia move in and stay and do duties, that she and I work out between us until we do have another election. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out on everything. I know we have done committee expectations. We got committee chairs that we had in place. I have not changed those. But I have asked that they provide you with reports when they're appropriate, and that they prepare by having committee meetings. So I am a little proponent of committees meeting, not one person meeting, because that's not a meeting. That's just you. So I'm saying NAACP asked that there be at least 3 members or more for a committee meeting. So we can start some practices and try to keep them in place, will be good. And then provide written reports, provide projected budgets, and as said in the minutes, the dates, just so that we're not all on top of each other and all the things that are going on in our busy city, that we coordinate our dates and events that we want to happen. And that's it for me. Are there any questions on the President's report? No. No questions? Okay, thank you. And we are going to participate in the National Convention, and that will touch on that under new business. All right, if there are no questions for me, then I will go on to the Treasurer's report.
I'm going to give the Treasurer's report for the months of February and March. And as a rule, the reports are not passed out in the general meeting. So, but we do give you the information that is included on the report. If you'd like to see it, you can come up and I can share it with you. This is the report for the period of February 1st through the 28th of 2022. And we have 3 accounts. We have a regular operating account, we have a scholarship fund account, and we have a banquet account. So activities and payments and invoices that relate to each account will be taken out of that account. So I will begin with the regular operating account. We began on February 1st with a balance of $20,248.91. We deposited $30,060.10, which was a transfer from our banquet account. At the end of the banquet each year, we transfer funds into our operating account so that we can do community activities, etc. The $60 was for membership, and we made big interest, 10 cents. So the balance with deposits was $50,309.01. Checks that posted totaled $600. We paid a $600 check to St. Louis NAACP for the banquet, and that left the bank balance of $49,709.01 on February 28th. We had a total of $1,937.11 in outstanding checks. Those were checks that had been written and were not cleared by the end of February. So our checkbook balance, excluding the outstanding checks as of February 28th, is $47,771.90. Of that amount, $14,000 is restricted funds for our AXO. And AXO is a separate entity of the NAACP. Their funds, they have a special program, and so their funds are mostly donated, and we cannot use them for operating. And also in that is $2,000 for environmental grant. So of the $47,000 that we are showing, $14,000 is restricted funds for AXO and our environmental grant, of which some of those funds, as of last week, have been used. So our total operating funds at the end of February were $33,771.90. That's the operating account. In our banquet account on February 1st, we had $57,760.41. There were no deposits made. There were one check written, and that was $30,000 that we transferred from the banquet into the operating account. We had to pay a transfer fee of $3. So the bank balance in our banquet account is $27,757.41. In our scholarship, as of February 1st, we had $34,301.03. We paid bank fees of $4. So as of February 28th, our scholarship account was $34,297.03. That is our report for February. Are there any questions? Comments? Okay, thank you. Our March Treasurer's Report, beginning balance in March, this is the operating account, was $49,709.01. Again, they beat interest 10 cents. So the balance was $49,709.22. That's what was accounted for. We posted checks totaling $1,002.11, leaving a bank balance on March 31st of $48,701.11. We had $935 still out in outstanding funds, checks that had not been presented to be cashed, and that left a checkbook balance on March 31st of $47,772.11. Again, each month we carried $14,000 for restricted funds, so that we left in the operating funds balance $33,772.11. Okay. Any questions? In the banquet? Yes.
Linda Spencer. Madam President, I'm just curious about the outstanding checks. Is there any awareness that those checks may exceed 60 or 90 days? Good.
No checks exceed 60 or 90 days. So usually by the time the bank statement comes, They've not been presented, but by the time the next bank statement has come, then those checks, but we never have any beyond 15, 20 days, okay? They just don't come by the time the bank statements are received and the report is given, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, in our banquet, there was no change. We still have $27,757.41. And you may be asking why we carry so much in the banquet account. You know, as we begin to make plans for our banquet, we have to make deposits in order to secure the hotel. So we always keep enough money so that we can have monies to make the deposits before we start collecting monies from ads, tickets, etc. Okay? But we do have one outstanding check for our banquet, and that's $2,000. And it was written after the statement was received. We had to pay a $2,000 deposit to hold the Marriott St. Louis Hotel date for our banquet in October. And so each month we will begin to see some outstanding checks, probably with the banquet, because periodically we'll be making deposits, and those checks will not have cleared by the time we make the report. So we have $25,757.41 as of today in our banquet account. Okay. Scholarship, there was one change. We started the month with $34,297.03. We deposited a donation of $100. So the total with the deposit is $34,397.03. We paid the bank fees of $4. And in our bank scholarship account as of today, we have $34,393.03. Such is our report for the months of February and March. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Questions, George?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Jones, great report. My question is actually not on the money, it's ins and outs. My question is actually on do we have a budget for the bigger account, for the operating account? Do we have a budget? Or we have a target for the budget? And if we having a budget meeting, that's my first question. Second question is, if you haven't...
Can I answer your first question?
Yes.
Okay, the answer to your first question is yes, there is a finance committee, and the committee will be convening to begin to get our budget placed in order. But as of now, we are functioning within guidelines for spending money from each account. We can attend the finance committee meeting. When the finance committee will be appointed, the new committee will be appointed by our new president, and maybe you can answer that. Other than the members of the committee, where other people be permitted to attend the finance committee meeting.
Every committee meeting.
The next question is, so if the banquet is only operating at a certain part of the year, the entire year you still get a report on it, even though if you're not operating at that time?
Yes.
You don't have an end of the year report to close it out for that year?
Well, sometimes during the year, we have donors who will give their monies at different intervals after the banquet. Like maybe this is what, April, we may have someone that will begin to give us a donation in May. And so we have to account for those funds as they are received so that we can stay on top of them.
You already answered my question.
Okay.
Madam President, that's a brief question. Is it, so the church report is every 2 months, or?
No, the reason why we did 2 months this time is because in our transition and having mail rerouted and mailbox changes and all of that, I have not received the last report when we gave our report in, the last statement. We have not received a statement. So in order to be transparent and to make sure that we were all on target, I gave you both a February and a March report. Next month, you'll only receive April.
Okay, great.
There's no question.
Yeah, it's not a question, it's just a comment. And like I said, I appreciate the numbers and the things that you're giving. However, just in order to make sure that, to be very transparent, that giving all the information, all the money that you have, every meeting, in the student life society, it's not that great in order to keep doing it. Because what you do is you kind of set yourself up in order to be a target at times. So we may want to just consider the operating budget and where we are in the target instead of every cent that we have. Just because it protects yourself.
We are aware of that. That is one of the reasons why we do not get hard copies. And so that we are aware of that. But then, just like you think like that, there are some others who do not and want to have to report on something every month. So we try to balance it.
Yeah, but you have the total in minutes.
Oh, I didn't
I don't know, but my point.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good points, and there's actually things that we've discussed. So, just getting into our group, deciding on what we want to put out and what we don't, just not to have ourselves in a certain position. But we did want to start off being transparent. So that's our,
We can consider that. When the finance committee meets, we can consider that and bring it back to the general meeting for that. And I understand exactly what you're saying because a lot of things don't come together.
all right, do you have a question? All right, good points, good questions, thank you. All right, thank you, Laura. Committee reports. If you would, limit yourselves to 3 minutes maximum. And we're going to start off with Troy Owens for AXO.
Good evening.
Axel, before we do that, may I make a motion that we
don't need a motion, but we will file reports for audit.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, you stand up. I'll step out. Yes, go ahead.
She go front, so people can
Can
see
you come
her.
up? Step out.
Yeah,
Don't be too perfect.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
AXO hosted its 6th annual golf competition on April the 9th, with 12 students competing in 13 categories. On April the 16th, AXO hosted its award ceremony and announced the winners. We had gold winners in original essay, dance, contemporary, oratory, music, vocal, painting, drawing, and sculpture. The gold winners will receive a $75 monetary award and a trip to Atlantic City to compete in the National AXO competition. On July 14th through 18th, representing the East St. Louis branch 3013. We had silver winners that will receive $50 monetary award and the bronze winner that will receive a $25 monetary award. The AXO committee will continue to work diligently with the students to prepare them for the NAACP AXO National Competition in Atlantic City with enrichments and workshops. Thank you.
For information.
Yes. I emailed the president and the secretary.
You have a hard copy today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure that. Please. All right, thank you. No questions for Latoya? Did you say we had 8 gold winners?
We had 5 students that won and 7 competitions. There's 5 students, 7 competitions.
Any other questions? Question for Latoya?
Yes. Is there a dollar figure that's associated with the wins?
She did, didn't you tell her how much?
$100 for the gold winners, $75 for the gold winners, $50 for the silver winners, and $25 for the bronze winners.
All right. No other questions, thank you. All right, People Action Committee. Robert Betts.
Thank you, Madam President, to the officers, and to all of you citizens and members of the NAACP. Good evening. My name is Robert Betts. Most of you know me, and those of you who don't know that you do. Up here on this table, I have some voter registration cards. If you haven't registered to vote, you can't leave here this evening unless you do. If you have not become a member of the NAACP, you also cannot leave until you do. We have those forms up here as well. If you think you're going to be absent or out of town during the upcoming elections, the primary, June 28th, as well as the November election, I have some forms up here where you can request your mail-in ballot, where you can have that ballot sent to you, where you can mail if you're going to be absent, if you know you're going to be absent. So that's up here as well. Let me just tell you, the Political Action Committee need members. We need people like you. Those of you that are not actively involved in political action, you need to get involved. The NAACP, not only are we fighting for health care, for voter rights, for housing, for environmental justice, for criminal justice, we're fighting for everything. We're fighting for you, and we need you to join the fight to help us help us. Can I ask you to do that? Let me see the hands of you that are really willing to fight tonight. Okay, outstanding. So that's what we need you to do. Let me just tell you real quickly. On May 2nd, put it in your phone. There's going to be a town hall meeting. The president has some flyers back there on the table. Make sure you get one. We want you at this town hall meeting to learn more about home rule municipalities, learn more about how the census data in 2020 is impacting your lives, and the lives of your children, and the lives of your grandchildren. Learn about redistricting, what this redistricting has done, how it has broken up this area, how it impacts the black vote in this area. Do we maintain control of the 57th and the 114th district? You know what that is? The 57th and the 114th and the 113th? That's Jay Hoffman in Madison County, who's a Democrat who works for us. That's Latoya Greenwood, who works for us, and that's Senator Bell, who works for us. All 3 of those districts are impacted as a result of this redistricting. So it's very important that we know the facts, so we know how to get out and vote and support. Even though the NAACP is nonpartisan, but we do encourage everybody to get out and vote. We can't tell you who to vote for, but you're intelligent enough to know who's working for you and who's working against you. I don't have to tell you in the national news lately how around the country they're fighting hard and passing legislation every day to stop people like you and me and others of color from doing what? Voting. Voter suppression is real and it's live. And if we don't maintain control of the House and the Senate in the midterm elections, we're going to have a major setback. So I encourage all of you to get excited about voting. Talk to your family members about voting. Every vote matters. Every vote matters and it counts. Sometimes it only takes one vote to get a person elected. One vote. And that could be the vote that you didn't make. So please encourage your family members, encourage your neighbors, encourage people to get out and vote. I'm sorry? Yeah, and I also have a report back on the back table. And real quickly, I'll just kind of give you some highlights of what we've been doing. There's so much to talk about with political action because political action affects everything. The President and I were talking about this today. Every facet of our life is impacted by political decisions that we make. Whether it's in housing, if you don't elect people and to the President and to the White House and to the Senate and to the Congress, into these different representative positions, guess what? They're not gonna be for what we need. We need affordable housing. We need affordable health care. So these politics is in everything that we do. Over the last month or so, we've had several meetings, and let me tell you some of the good work that we've been doing. George McClellan, I have to give George his props, because George McClellan, let me tell you, he has really worked very diligently to get the political action coalition that has been formed, along with the NAACP, as part of our umbrella, where we're encouraging other social and civic organizations to partner with the NAACP to do what? Get in the fight. And they have gotten in the fight. The AKAs, the Deltas, the Omegas, all of them are getting in the fight. And the top ladies of distinction, and there's some other groups, matter of fact, the daughters of ISIS are getting involved. So we're excited about the partnerships that we're building, and we're going to continue to build those partnerships to make sure that our people are counted and represented in these elections moving forward. And not only are we going to just deal with voting, we're going to get busy in housing, in education, and criminal justice, and other things that are impacting our lives. We need to be about the business that we want to see, to be about the change that we want to see. If we want to see a change, let's be about making a change. You can't sit at home and say, well, I wish this and I wish that. You got to get busy. And this is the way you get busy, by joining Robin Carey Board, joining these organizations, the NAACP, and standing up and fighting for our rights. It is time that we do it. Because guess what? If we don't do it now, shame on us. Shame on us. Because this is what we're leaving behind for our children and our grandchildren to have to deal with, when we should be fighting the fight. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm here. Let me give you my phone number. 618-779-9982. Call me, join the Political Action Committee, join the Environmental Justice Committee, join the Housing Committee, join the Media Committee, whatever committee, membership committee. We need your work. We need you. Robin can't do it all by herself. And she's working the heck out of us. Already. So we need you to help us to help ourselves so we can help our community. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the energy. And that's just his report. He's not running for office. But he does bring that energy. He does bring that energy each week, and I appreciate that. So, great points, and stay busy. Membership committee. I'm sorry. Does anybody have any questions? Looks like.
Of course, I have a question, but it's not a question, it's more so a comment. So, to Robert's point, there's a couple things he kind of left out that I need from the NAACP membership. I need people who are willing in order to be deputy registers. So if you're willing in order to be deputy registers, please sign up for that. Robert can actually get him your name, say, okay, it's really easy. It only takes about 5-10 minutes in order for you to get all the forms in order to be deputy registers. Because we need people in order to sign people up. If we don't have the deputy registers, then we cannot ask these high schoolers in order to sign up because we don't have enough bodies. Next thing we need for the event on May 2nd, we need your presence. Okay? If anybody has ever played sports and say, okay, well, this kid has the ability in order to do X, Y, and Z. Well, your best ability is availability. If you're not available, then we cannot affect it. So at the town hall, we need people there. We need you virtually there too. Because these numbers allow us in order to put pressure on other people to come to to show up for our candidates forum. If you only have 12 people and I'm a candidate, why should I come to you? However, if I have 4,000, it means a hell of a lot. So I need people there, and I need you as your candidate. I need you virtually, call your friends in order to make sure that, hey, I don't care if your phone is in your car and you ain't even looking at it, but at least have it on because we need those numbers in order to make sure that people are able to come up. Because not only do we have this issue on the redistricting, but we're going to also have the political forms coming up after that. Okay? So we're gonna start at the state level, and then we're gonna work our way down to the local level and the people who represent us. And if you can't answer these questions about what you're doing, then why do you need to represent us? That's all I have.
Thank you, George. Madam President, real quickly, and we're gonna need some volunteers too, as George just mentioned. I'll tell you, political action is so much, it takes a lot more than 3 minutes. So let me tell you, for what George just touched on, the candidates forum is huge. You got your state senator, your state representative, you've got the county sheriff, you got the county prosecuting attorney, you've got the state's attorney, you got this county clerk, you got all these positions, and as a result of the redistricting, guess what? All of them gotta run. Not just some of them, all of them gotta run. So that gives us an opportunity to get them in front of us. And we're gonna need you to help us with this, because we're gonna need people to volunteer and work with us to make this event a success. So please, contact me, contact one of the members, talk to us after the meeting, so you can sign up and say, hey, count me in, I want to stand up and I'm ready for the fight.
All right, thank you for that. Keep in mind the redistricting, we have someone there to answer your questions. What does it mean? How does it impact you? What does it have to do with my vote? If you have questions, come. And that's the whole point, when you come out and get the answers yourself, and we're not doing a third party carrying the message. So again, thank you for that. We're going to keep the agenda moving. You see how much they have to say? Come to the committee meeting. Committee meeting is tomorrow, I think, Wednesday night. So George has a Zoom for that if you're interested, so see him about that. All right. Membership, sorry. Deborah.
Hi, my name is Deborah Dorsey, and I hate to follow Robert, but next time. I'm the first on the agenda. So anyway, the membership, I am the membership chair. Right now, we are working diligently, and per meeting, we're going to try to have an update on where we are with membership. So since January of this year, we've taken in approximately 10 new paid members, and I want to underline the word paid. So far this year, and we have approximately, so far, 15 new membership forms. I say that because we have gone to, when we've gone out to the churches and to different organizations, we kind of catch people off guard, and if most people don't carry cash anymore. And people in this room, they have checks, young people don't have checkbooks. So they have their credit cards, but then what they want to do is use electronic format. So what we're going to do is we're asking people to still fill it out. I'm going to contact those who fill out their forms and then make payment arrangements. People have said things like Cash App and PayPal and Venmo and Zelle. We're going to work with the national office to see how we can do that. Because right now, we're not really set up for it. So that's why I said that. If you want to turn in an application tonight and you don't have cash, please do it and I will follow up with you. I'll do it in 3 minutes because I talk fast. Okay. So we'll have, I should have another update by May. The new membership, the membership roster, special shout out to Marina Howard. She is, since our secretary, she has access to the national roster. We're in the process of going through to see who is a member, who is not a member, who's moved from the area, who's passed on, we don't know. So that's a huge ask. We're in the process of updating our memberships, and we hope to have something May, maybe June-ish. Okay, and then we're we form an executive committee and an ad hoc committee of members. You have to be in the executive committee, and we selected people who know the community. So if they see a name, they'll recognize it and say, oh, this person has moved on, oh, we should contact that person. Membership drives, we have every opportunity, including tonight, we do have membership drives. We're asking people to continue to do so. So far, we've gotten some really positive responses. So it's very enlightening, and we're getting people who are younger and younger. Nothing's like people like me of my age, but it is nice to see somebody, people in their 20s and 30s, one, because they're going to come in with some fresh ideas, things I hadn't thought about. So I'm really excited about that. And then what I am planning to do is a new membership orientation so that when people join, what are you joining? We know NAACP, what does that mean? Nationally, statewide, locally. What are our committees? What do we need your help on? Robert gave a few of those, but we just want to tell people what it is that you're joining. And so we don't want paper members, we want active members, if that's okay. All right, that's it for the membership. All right. I think I did 3 minutes. Okay, thank you. Okay, she has asked me a question.
Anybody have any questions about membership? All right, one of our goals is to increase our membership and actually have bodies, not just names. So, thank you.
Busybodies.
That too. All right, thank you, Deborah. Dr. John Porter is not present, but we can get an update on the health report. I think that's Deborah. Oh, here, while you can.
All right, I have a real quick one, and I will tell what I know about the health committee. During the Juneteenth celebration, that's going to be on June the 18th at 9 o'clock City Hall. We have two major events. It's going to be a 5K. 5K doesn't necessarily mean run. If you can run, power walk, wheelchair, whatever. We just want people to participate. And then there's also going to be a health fair. And since June is Men's Health Month, we're going to have a huge focus on men's health. Men, take care of yourselves. And we're going to help you do that. And then there are also going to be things like mental health screenings, mental health information, dental screenings, services for families, anything. And we will have, light refreshments available. But for right now, that's what I have for health.
Carl, you have anything to add today?
We are going to partner with the 5K in September with Mrs. Melody McClellan, and she's also asking for members. The health committee is few in number right now, so she is asking for members to join us. That's it.
And health committee, think about it, because we have some ideas coming up that are really big. We're hoping that we can get collaboration going on for that. So we're looking for a member for the health committee. And health, think about it's broad. So we have all kinds of health issues as it relates to the environment, health issues that impact our education, health issues as it relates to COVID. So it's a lot to look at against. Somebody hand up? Okay, no questions, moving on. Environmental justice. Marina.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Environmental and climate justice. There's been a lot of emphasis on environmental and climate justice, and I was going to ask, if you don't mind, how many of you are on the mailing list and get the emails? I'd like to see your hands. That the reports were sent, maybe you haven't had an opportunity to look at them. But if you do not, I would want you to make sure you stop by. Give me your email address if you are a member, and make sure that I send you a copy of the report. The report was prepared, and as it turned out, with my generous nature, printed all of the reports, and when I got to mine, I ran out of ink. So my report is that we've had a number of activities that goes on every month. Environmental and climate justice meet on Zoom with the regional environmental and climate justice NAACP representative, and they talk about what is out legislatively on the federal level that we can tap into. In fact, I have a meeting tomorrow. I noted that tomorrow, Zoom, 8 a.m. I'm trying to make that meeting, and I'll report back. My committee has this information. Those who are on the executive committee have the date and time and the information as to when these Zoom meetings are. But we were excited. We started, we're running fast under a number of circumstances under the new president as of January 2022. And as a result, I would like for many of you to consider joining environmental climate justice. It has tentacles that you would not believe. It reaches in all of the various areas. And as a result, we have joined partnerships that are involved with other organizations throughout the committee. We're excited about that. And as a result of our becoming a part of the other organizations in the committee, we found ourselves being involved this weekend. How many of you were at Earth Day or knew about Earth Day? I see one of you, great. What I see is two of my partners, my ride or die. If it had not been for them, I don't know whether I've been able to make it. Why? The executive committee voted that we should donate to Earth Day, and that's what we did. And then the person over Empire 13 says, why don't you buy the material? And we said, what? You know, we found out, according to him and his direction, that he needed garbage bags, gloves, and trash pickups. So I got the team, three of us got in the car, and we drove literally from store to store comparing prices in a very short period of time, and even went to North County because we knew there were some cheaper ones out there. We just sort of leisurely, that's what you do when you retire. That's what you look forward to and enjoy it. And we enjoyed ourselves, and we were pleased to be able to donate these items to Earth Day Saturday, which, if you didn't know it. Ironically enough, what I thought was going to happen didn't happen. Our president was there with the mayor and others who were on the MSD TV interview. When I went to the television to see what she sounded like and look what, I didn't see her. So guess what I saw? They took a camera and a picture of NAACP. That was the first thing I saw. And that's what she's talked about. She wants us to be out in the community. We want you to know we are available. We are working under these various categories. If you want and interested in environmental and climate justice, please let her know or me, and we will get you involved. We are planning also a shred day, and the shred day is planned for June. And hopefully, it will provide what you might need in order to bring some extra papers and books and things that you have. Now, what we've done is strategically placed it in the South End, because what we noted was they've been at East Side, right? They've been at the Copper House. That's what I know about. But they've been at the police station. And now we're planning to put one shred recycling truck. Bring your paper when we make our announcement at St. Paul Baptist Church parking lot. That's the South End. So we will have covered all the different areas. We didn't do that. Others did it, but we're going to put our shred truck in the South End. That's the end of the report. Please join us.
Okay, do you have any questions for Brenda? All right, thank you for that. And the event really was good this weekend. As I did some research, again, that's how I found out it reminded me how the environment and the impact the environment has on health. So I'm just tying everything together. And then, as Robert said, politics. So we have to vote so that we can be able to make a difference.
And we have to educate people.
That's right. Our education committee will come back. Question for Brenda?
Just a comment, Madam President, and thanks to Laura and Marina and Juanita and Priscilla and Lola, everybody that came out, and the president that came out to help support this event, and Deborah and Daphne, and Waletta would have been there, but she was out of town, but it was just a great event. And let me tell you, Laura, how many did we register? Memberships?
At 6.
Six new memberships, Madam President, was obtained on Saturday at that event. Outstanding.
That was at one location.
At one location. I think we got others over at Mount Sinai. We'll have a complete report. But I just wanted Marina to know that that's what we did. It was a good job.
So committees are working together, and it's fantastic. And that's in addition to what you reported tonight.
Yeah, that's in addition to what Dad said.
Excellent, excellent. We're going to keep us a running list so we can keep track, so we can see the difference we're making in the community. All right? No question for Lorraine? Ms. Tiffany Beach on communication. Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam President, you say Shred Day is June 26th? June 25th. Being that St. Paul has a large parking lot, that's not true. That would be a good time to do voter registration, membership, and all coming out of that South End. Because yes, you do have a lot of citizens who cannot come north, south, or east, or west. But they know about it ahead of time, so that means a lot of flyers need to go out there. Because I've had seniors to call me out there in the building and ask me, I didn't know who they stuff spread yet. So this is a good opportunity to promote NAACP and get the flyers in that South End. At the Gary Brown Center and all out there, at the ice cream stand, which is open places that they frequently visit out there all the time. And that somebody was sitting in the park, they would give it all up on Sundays.
But you would maybe share a list of those places, and we could consider getting flyers out to those different places, such as the township and your church, getting in bulletins, things like that. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, communication.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Tiffany Lee. I am Chair of Communications, and so I just have a few things to report. One, we have a new email. Our email is NAACP BRANCH 3013@gmail.com. So that's NAACP branch 3013@gmail.com. Our Facebook page, I'd like to report that we currently still have, we did not have to reestablish another Facebook page. We still have our current Facebook page. It is under the branch's control right now. And President Carrie Boyd and myself are admins on that page. And regarding our website, we did purchase NAACPESTL.org to move our website information to currently, it is still in its current location. One last thing, I do need some people we need some people for the communications committee. Okay, because right now it is a team of one. And we are out of order. All right, we need to have at least 3 people to be a committee. So if you know how to write press releases or newsletters, or you have any media contacts, or you know how to work on websites, or have any type of technical or tech experience or anything like that, we would definitely like to hear from you. And then membership, when you're talking to new people, please find out if they have some of these skills to direct them to us. My email, if you want to join this communications committee, is t.grimmett, which is GRIMMETT.LEE@hotmail.com. Didn't see too many people right now. t.grimmett.lee@hotmail.com. Hope to hear from you. See, she's diligently writing. I know I have at least one person. All right, that concludes my report, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Tiffany?
Of course, George has one.
Okay.
There's not really. All right. So, just to piggyback on what Tiffany said, okay, we're going to have a Facebook page. We're going to need content on it. So if you're a person who may not like to do all the work, the photographer is great. That way you can just email the stuff to her. That way she can put it on the page. You may not be a person who is a talker like Brian Lane or Ms. Walletta. So you may want to just sit there and take pictures. I think Mr. Bailey was great at that when he was here, and so we need somebody to fill their role.
Any other questions? Tiffany?
Could you repeat your email address again?
It's like Tiffany, t.grimmett.lee@hotmail.com.
You should take that.
t.grimmett.lee.
And again, thank you, Tiffany. Just transitioning wise, for us to even be in position where we have our an email and Facebook, those are things that people are looking for. And so, just because we had to go through a transition, things had to change. And so she was able to work through that, and so I'm grateful. We'll get you some members, don't worry. I got a couple already in mind. All right, Deborah Carson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Deborah Carter, and I'm the courtesy chairperson. And currently, we are looking for members. And my plan is to have a meeting next week. So if you're interested, you may contact me at 618-660-5687, or my email address is dlynn, D as in Deborah, LYNNE, Wright, WRIGHT, at att.net. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We did mention that the courtesy that we extended in the minutes for Larita Griffin. You got it right. Just little things make me feel. Okay, thank you. Courtesy. We're on new business.
Before we get to new business, go inside on there and I'll send it. I want to let her group invite chair of the education committee.
Oh.
I don't have a report, but education, as you know, is a currency that buys opportunity. Education covers all of them. We have been working closely, and I have a committee. I have a committee, we have met, so I couldn't submit my report. But I have worked with the Community Social Action Committee or Political Action Committee. And when you hear that component about education and the videos, that's coming from the Education Committee. But we do want to invite you or share an opportunity with you to get involved with education. We're going into the high schools. We're doing different things to educate people about different things that are going on. Without that education piece, we won't know. And we believe that when we know better, we do better. So we want to educate our community so we can do better. If you are interested in becoming involved with the Education Committee, feel free to reach out to me. And my email is real simple. It's the second part of my name. It's LETTA2@yahoo.com. So that's letter J2@yahoo.com. And there's a national initiative from the NAACP about things we should be doing in education. And we will be moving forward with those.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Let me just say it's, and so she just kind of made a point, and so I'm real clear with everybody on just expectations. I mentioned about committees, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm educated by trade, so just work with me. Committees have committee meetings. Committees consist of 3 people or more. And so my simple ask is that we just have the reports ready so that we can get them out, move through our meetings quickly. And then if I would start saying it right now, I want you to hear me later in after 6 meetings and you say, now you're telling me on the front end, we're gonna work that way together. And as everybody is saying, get a member, I want you to be on my committee, I need every name of everybody on every committee. That's just so that I know what's going on. That's just to keep me in order, you all. Because one thing you'll do is check me when I'm not. So help me be in order and give me those names. And so I stick to this agenda as best I can. So y'all just work with me on that as well.
Madam President, just 5 seconds.
Yes.
I am so sorry that I didn't mention Dr. Marletta Brookins. Dr. Marletta Brookins is also the Political Action Chair Committee Vice Chairman and has been instrumental involved in the Political Action Coalition, the voter registration efforts, the voter education efforts, the voter mobilization efforts. And Dr. Brookins, please forgive me. Charge it to my heart, to my head and not my heart. I forgot to mention that Dr. Brookins has been actively involved in everything that we talked about here today.
Yes, she has. Yes, she has. She's been there with us on those voter registration signs. And so that's what happened when we start calling names. And give your report, and you don't have to worry about that as much. But I do appreciate you and everybody else that's here tonight, and and your information that you're sharing, so thank you for that. So, if no other questions on reports, we're going to move on to new business. So the new business is National Convention. It is July 14th through the 20th in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I have not been privy to the details of the convention as yet, but I do have a meeting on Thursday, and I hope to get that information to be able to share it out. And so we will have delegates that will be able to attend that, as well as our AXO participants and the sponsors. So, anybody that's interested in being a delegate, please give your name to Marina, and then we will take it back to the executive meeting. Of course, you have to be a member in the NAACP. But if you're interested, please share that with Marina.
I'm sure you have to be a financial member.
Financial member.
Okay, and is it in person and virtual, or?
It is in person.
Yes, in person.
Yes. All right. Any questions? Now, the Freedom Fund Bank, whatever you thought for is today. And today, that is not all we do. We will have a bank. We will have a bank. And this is nothing, against anybody else there, but we had an awesome bank in the past, but the branch is charged of doing more than a bank.
Absolutely.
So in preparation for that, we will continue to move forward, but there will be a banquet on October 10th, and we will start with our initial meetings next month, and then we'll snowball from there. So if you are interested in that as well, let me know. But we will have a Freedom Fund Banquet Committee meeting. That's on this Sunday the 9th, Sunday, October 9th. So, just heads up on that. Any questions about the committee for the Freedom Fund Bank? FYI, that is the biggest fundraiser that this branch holds. It is the biggest fundraiser. So know that is the intention. And all branches are charged with having a Freedom Fund Bank. Everybody says not on our level. So we're gonna keep it like that. And we're gonna keep it at either the level we've been at or better. So it's up to you all, or us, in making it whatever we're gonna make it for 2022. Then executive committee and general meeting dates are on the table. If you've not given one, you've already planned it out, so you don't have to say, oh, you have a meeting, well, when is that? It's already listed. Every date that we have is out there. So I can find mine. I just did. Did you all see that sheet with all the dates on there? There it is. It's right here. So no questions asked, you know when our meetings are. We'll remind you anyway. Okay? Are there any questions for me? Unfinished business? Do you have any unfinished business? I did want to touch base on that 5K. Do you have any? I know we had, we talked about the membership, the health committee with the 5K. We had Mr. Boyd. Do you have any details, any more on that 5K?
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. Hey, I'm Mike Boyd. I am the board president for the Metro East St. Louis Community Initiative, as well as a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. On June 18th, the Juneteenth 5K and Family Health Fair will take place at City Hall. But what I want everyone to understand is that this is also a collaboration with the mayor's office. Also, it's a collaboration with the Community Development Sustainable Solutions. That's with Terrence and Stephanie. And also we're collaborating with the NAACP and other organizations that are willing to participate with the Juneteenth 5K and Family Health Fair. Now, there is a registration for those that want to receive the t-shirt and the medal that's part of the 5K. Again, I say this, that's at your own discretion. It's not mandatory that you buy the t-shirt and medal. But if the money that we receive from the participation in the 5K, that goes towards the mentoring program and the scholarship efforts of the chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha. Now, I encourage everyone to come out to participate because there's a membership drive on the NAACP. There is the voter registration drive that will take place, but also there'll be dental screenings, random blood sugar draws. There's be mental health and behavioral health screenings, mammograms, vaccinations for the virus. So there's a slew of things that will be happening during this health fair. And again, June is National Mental Health Awareness Month. However, we want to make it all encompassing of the family. So it's not just about the men, it's the family. We identify men with the biblical term that men have been the head of the house. We want to make sure it's inclusive of children and mothers. Questions for me, Madam President?
No. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question instead of a comment. So, just to piggyback on what Mike said, if you were there to ask you, if you don't feel like running or you can't run the 5K, you can get in the motorcade. So the motorcade that the NAACP led was actually from 89th Street all the way down the street. Okay? It was a great event. I mean, extremely good event. You had Jeep Club, you had fire trucks, you had police cars, you had a lot of stuff. I think the parade was 15 minutes long. So it was a great event. It was all day. And then after the event, over to Jones Park, I think it was 20 different vendors there. It was a great time with food and people selling things. It was nice. It was a nice day over there at Jones Park. So come on out for Juneteenth. Juneteenth is for all of us.
Fred George, I'm glad you mentioned that. But there will be another parade on that morning. That parade will start out from City Hall and go to 68th and State. Mm-hmm. That's going to be with the mayor's office, as well as with Stephanie and Terrence, the Community Sustainability Association. So that's what's going to happen. There will be another parade this year, but it will start from City Hall and conclude at 68th and State.
Same parade, just a different starting point.
Just a different starting point. And the reason why it's a different starting point, and I don't want to take the thunder from Stephanie and Terrence, but there's a national celebrity that's going to be here. That's going to be a part of that walk and the family, the walk and run that morning. So I'm not going to disclose that information because that's their thunder. I don't want to take away from that. But we do have a national celebrity that will be here on that morning.
I can talk about flyers.
Okay, question for?
Yes, I would like to know, with that being said, will this information be sent out to the organizations and things so that they can be a part of whatever's going on with Juneteenth?
Yeah, most definitely.
And I think it's kind of in the planning, so a lot of things it'll be coming out relatively quickly.
But if it's in general, a lot of the organizations really truly would almost be wrapping things up that they made because June. You said Juneteenth.
June 18th.
You're going to have some organizations that will be meeting the last event, which will be after the event.
They have flyers out. So I'll get those flyers out.
And there is a live link for those that want to register on Eventbrite for that want to participate in the walk and run. But we also have a website, the Metro East St. Louis Community Initiative website that we can communicate through, and I've also sent information to Madam President for that information and also other local organizations. So, yes, ma'am.
That website once more, please.
I'll give it to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I just want to get details on our participation with that. Okay. So that was unfinished business announcements. I just want to remind everybody about, before we get to other announcements, I want to remind you about the town hall meeting tomorrow here, 5 to 7. And that's the town hall meeting is open to the public. And it's Internext on behalf of the Illinois Commerce Commission. It's hosting this town hall meeting for community members and stakeholders to provide input on the new Illinois energy law. So some of you might know that their electric bill's gone up. If you want to hear about, the details, you want to ask questions, tomorrow's the place to be. So put that on your calendar. And then the other thing is May 2nd. George has mentioned it, and we talked about the flyers are back on the table for the town hall for the political action coalition. Any other announcements? Bridget?
Madam President, Rachel, word of God, may I suggest that when communications go out to the general membership, that the sender send the email to themselves and then blind copy everybody else? Because not only is there COVID out there are viruses by people getting your email address and they're sending you all kinds of communications. So it would be best if the sender would send the email to themselves and then blind copy everybody else. Because there are people on that email chain that are no longer active or involved with this branch.
Always, you notice that?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at that. You're talking to all right.
I will respond, and all of the emails that have been sent are blind copied. And if you notice, many of them include, I guess, the email of the sender, which happens to be me. And a recent one was created by Tiffany and the president, and I just used it. And the way it's set up, I had nothing to do with that. But the way they set it up, I'm not the sender, she is. So when I go in and put my information in, that's what comes up. And everybody else is blind copied. I'm in the list of contacts. So I'm a blind copier also. So if you have an email, don't worry, don't be concerned. It's not going to the others. They are blind copies. I got that from Tiffany some time ago. And as a result, it works. But when I send it, what you see would be the sender. And we might want to check on that or talk to Tiffany about that. Okay?
All right, we can talk offline to find out what it was that Reginald must have received. Okay.
Okay.
Any other announcements? I do know that there is a town hall that the mayor is putting on May 25th, correct, 25th?
May 26th.
26th. And where is it?
It's going to be at East St. Louis Higher Education Campus.
And it's the state of the city address.
Yes, from the mayor. So let me know that, and I will get that information out as well. But it is a town hall meeting. Well, it's not called a town hall, it's called the state of the city. Okay. So I'll get that information out. I was waiting on a flyer for it, but I didn't get it. So you just have the date, we would do a save the date. All right. If there's nothing else, I'm at my time limit. The next meeting is May 24th, and I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Second. Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Betts and second by Vice Ferris. All in favor? My call. Ayes have it. Thank you all so much. Make my first meeting interesting.